Hello, this is Minder Chen. I'm a professor of Management Information System at Martin Bismuth School of Business and Economics, CSU Channel Island. In this lecture, we're going to talk about particularly the ETL tool in data warehouse and business intelligence. If you remember the architecture diagram that we have presented earlier, ETL stands between the data source, the source system, which is where we get our data, the data source. And we need to use ETL tools to help us to extract the data from the data source, perform various transformation, validation, etc., and eventually load the data into the data warehouse. The same tool can be used in extracting a subset of the data warehouse and create a so-called data mart. And finally, ETL can also be used in creating OLAP cubes. The OLAP cubes can be generated through a data mart or can be created directly from the enterprise-wide data warehouse. So ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. This clipboard diagram shows the three-step process. Extract from the source database, then perform some degree of transformation. For instance, make sure all the currency are turned into US dollar, the same currency, and eventually loading to the data warehouse, or could be a data mart or like cube. The complete ETL cycle include several steps. For instance, building reference data like currency code for conversion purpose. Extract data from the source, validate the data, make sure they're correct, transform, clean it up, apply various business rules, and check for data integrity and create aggregated derived measure. If you use a staging area, then stage the data in the staging table may be necessary. Also, the system should generate audit reports on compliances with business rule. So finally, we can publish or load the data into the target table in the data warehouse, and certainly can be data mart or OLAP cubes. And finally, clean up some of the working tables that may have been generated during this life cycle. In ETL, we have to pay extra attention to the data quality issue. A lot of time we find that the data that we bring in do not have common time basis. They may use different calculation algorithm and may have a different level of extraction in terms of the granularity, and the field name may not be consistent, the meaning may not be the same, or they have different meaning, but in reality they mean the same thing. Missing data is pretty common, and we don't have any rule in correcting data. In various dimensions, there may be lack of hierarchy, so there's no drill down capability. So here's just a few example of the transformation of data. For instance, we have maybe a registration ID, which is Roman numeral. After transformation, it would be translated into number. We may combine two columns, like first name, last name. For OLAP analysis, concatenate the two columns together into a single column, make it much more convenient. And also we can generate calculated field or derived attribute. So for instance, if we multiply quantity with price, we can calculate the total sales. So it is important that we clean up the data during the ETL phase. Here's just an example of how challenging it is in terms of cleaning data. For instance, here we find out we have duplicated primary key value. And this is example of anomaly in terms of the same company's name has been abbreviated in different fashion. And also when we present street address, we don't have any standard in terms of like abbreviation, etc. So this 4 address may turn out to be the same address for a house. Potentially we may have spelling error, like park probably shouldn't be abbreviated this way. And in some column, empty blank field may contain some noise, which means some character which may not be so desirable. So this short tutorial, we explain ETL, and hopefully you have a better understanding of the complexity of ETL. The ETL activity sometimes counts for more than 30% of the effort in building a data warehouse. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.